Welcome folks, I am Koay, and I don't get to do tech videos as often as I'd like to, and that's largely because I just don't feel like I'm as qualified as all of the number of tech gurus that are out there and have a huge platform just for having tech, but I'm still an enthusiast when it comes to tech and gaming. I don't feel like I am the most qualified to talk on either of those subjects, but I like them a lot, and I do have an opinion on these things, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. It's up to you if you want to listen. So, two things today, Google Stadia and Airpods 2. I'll start with the Airpods 2 because that's the newer thing, and just so you guys know, I'm not going to talk about this, but they released a new version of the iMac if you're interested in that. Anyway, I've been using Airpods for a while now, and I like them a lot. I think that they're very convenient, very nice. I don't even notice when they're there. I've been watching a lot of Unbox Therapy whenever he talks about headphones, and one of the things he said when he compared it to, I forget which other headphones he compared it to, I think it was Samsung, but he said he could feel it. It was like very customizable, but he could feel it there. I agreed with him that like, I don't notice these when they're in my ear. I'll forget that they're there. I think that they're very recommendable. I was obviously excited at the notion of AirPods 2, whatever the follow-up is. Now, there was a lot of rumors circulating the internet about what these AirPods 2 were gonna be. I knew that there weren't gonna be a huge leap, that there were gonna be an incremental upgrade. Everyone was talking about like the black AirPods and what they're gonna do. One person was talking about the possibility of like an iPod being on the case, this and that, and the upgrade isn't like huge. I'm not sure if I can recommend, if you have these already, if you should go ahead and buy the next pair. If you're looking for a huge upgrade, I think if you just wait one more year, it'll be a significant upgrade. If you're rocking these and they're good enough for you, then just keep rocking them in my opinion. But I do think that for me personally, they might be worth the purchase. From my experience, I usually am listening to these at the gym, music and whatnot, and then I'll leave the gym and I'll get on the phone invariably. And within 20 minutes, my AirPods will be dying because I just used them at the gym and now the talk time is just like shrunk. With the new AirPods, the talk time has increased by 50% from 2 hours to 3 hours. The music time is still 5 hours, but I'm not expecting too much of an upgrade when these things are so small. I don't take the case with me when I go to the gym. I leave this at home. I'm not trying to lose the case. My only hope with the upgrade was that they increased the battery life of the AirPods themselves, and not necessarily the case. I don't give a shit about that. It's increased by 50%, a whole hour, and that might not seem like a lot, but to me that's pretty significant. The ability to talk on them for 3 hours is much better than 2. I have this list here from 9to5mac.com. It also says the case talk time is now 18 hours instead of 11. The case listening time is still 24 hours. 15-minute quick charge listening time is still 3 hours, but the 15-minute quick charge talk time is now 2 hours instead of 1. You also have Hey Siri functionality. Now you can just say Hey Siri and it works. I don't know why that has to be an upgrade to new physical technology. I think that's BS. Whatever. I mean, Apple does what Apple does. They have the new H1 chip instead of the W1 chip. Seamless pairing, which I think is cool. It's never really bothered me. I use my AirPods with like my iPad, with my computer, with my phone. It does take a second. You gotta pop it open, wait a moment, let it sync up. It takes like 10 seconds or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not super impatient when it comes to that. I'm not expecting it to be instantaneous. It's pretty quick in my opinion, but for it to be instant, according to advertisement, that's cool. I don't know that that's worth $200 or $160 for a new pair of buds that do that, but that's still a really cool feature to have. Auto on, auto connected, dual mics and optical sensors. I think a lot of this stuff is things that most people don't notice. The biggest thing that people are gonna notice is the battery life. That's what they're gonna pick up on. And the Hey Siri functionality, the ability to do that, I think that I might upgrade. It's not cheap. There are other headphone alternatives out there at the same price that are probably better in quality, but that seamless functionality of the AirPods with the phone, with your other Apple products, is pretty damn cool. It's hard to give that up. I like it a lot. Just to have more battery life when I go out into the world, I think that's great, and it might be worth the upgrade for me. I don't know for sure yet, but I'm leaning towards yes. So Google Stadia. I am someone who bought the Xbox for the Kinect. Like I didn't buy the Xbox until the Kinect came out. And then I went ahead and bought the Xbox One because of the new Kinect. I get really excited about the new technology, the new ways of playing games. I think it's super cool when they try to push the boundaries and go in a new direction. At one point, I was really excited about this thing that Xbox was supposed to offer where they have these cameras beside your couch so you can kind of extend the frame of what you're looking at, which I thought would be really cool for first-person shooters so you can see even more than what your 16:9 TV is offering you, but that went away. Anyway, Google Stadia, to the point. I'm very excited by this. I think it's really, really cool. Yes, I'm aware of the concerns over latency. This is not gonna be awesome out the gate. I don't think. I think that there's gonna be issues. Something's gotta give. To do all the things they're saying it's gonna do, something's gotta give. In order to play on your phone, your computer, your TV, anywhere you want, anytime, something's gonna be hindered somewhere, and I would imagine it has something to do with your internet connection. And if you live in Los Angeles like I do, or anywhere else that doesn't have the best internet, I feel like that has to be a factor. That's gonna be a problem at some point. Yes, all the hardware on their side is gonna be amazing, but there's still gonna be some kind of lag with internet. I mean, it happens all the time with just watching videos. But it excites me for what's to come next. Just like with Kinect, the first iteration was all right. The second iteration was great. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was still much better than the first one. It's the one we should have got the first time around. And so I'd imagine something similar is gonna happen here, where the first generation is gonna be serviceable. And then the next generation is gonna be awesome, or at least much better. I'm excited for it. I would be willing to buy into it just for the curiosity. Like when they mentioned the idea of watching a YouTube video of a game like Assassin's Creed, and then you can click play and play it like that, that is so cool. I'm still a fan of buying physical copies of games and having the booklet and whatever, like just having that disc in your hand. I think that's still awesome. But it's undeniable how neat that is. The idea that you can play a game right away, and then on your controller, if you're a noob and you suck, like you can immediately hit a button and get some tutorial information on what to do next. The level of instant gratification we are coming into is unprecedented. I am so jealous of any kid born today, and I was almost gonna put out a tweet saying that we should stop making babies because they're not gonna be able to enjoy and appreciate this stuff on the level that we do growing up with this emerging technology. During the last Super Bowl, Netflix advertised a movie and then you could watch it that night. It was the new Cloverfield movie, I think. It wasn't a great movie, but the fact that they could advertise it that day and show it to you instantaneously, instant gratification, man. And I mean, 3 months after a movie leaves theaters, you're able to watch it at home on a Blu-ray. Like, it's crazy. And now with games, it's the same thing. It's like instant. I think it'd be neat if it's a subscription service. I'm not clear on whether it's a subscription service or not, or if you got to buy the game still, and if they're going to charge you, $60 for a game that you don't even hold anymore. I'm very excited at the notion that it's a subscription service that you can, play games at random like you would with Netflix. I'm both excited and scared at the same time. Because like with Netflix, for instance, it's that dilemma of too many options. And I feel like that could very easily happen with gaming as well. The other thing that concerns me is losing your appreciation for these things. Like, it's one thing to buy a game from the store, undo the shrink wrap and pop it into your thing and wait an hour for it to frickin' install. I mean, that going away, I am not gonna miss that going away, but that appreciation I think is gonna dwindle naturally. It's gonna happen. And so that's a concern of mine. And there is, of course, a little bit of skepticism. I mean, obviously, that latency thing is something I'm concerned about to a degree, but I think that's gonna go away with time. I think that the technology is going to keep improving. I mean, we're coming upon 5G very soon. I feel like the technology is, making way for this kind of thing to happen. The Google Stadia isn't the first instance that I heard about this. The first time I heard about it was from NVIDIA. They had a little standalone console called the Shield. I don't know if anyone even bought that thing or if it ever came out. I know they had the handheld Shield, but it was a standalone console thing that seemed pretty exciting. The idea that you would use their hardware remotely. And then Linus Tech Tips had talked about Shadow, another thing that was like that, where you could play anywhere and switch seamlessly between phone, TV, whatever. And it would work, and you'd be able to play with amazing hardware. And the Shadow thing I don't think is limited to gaming. I think you can do more than just gaming. But all that to say, even though NVIDIA is a big company, I don't know much about Shadow. Google's obviously a huge company, and they can afford to invest an unprecedented amount of money into this kind of infrastructure to make this happen. I have confidence in Google's confidence that this is gonna work. I think it's gonna be great, at least eventually. Within, if not today, because I know it's coming out later this year, if not today, by next year or the year after, it's gonna be very, very comparable to your experience with playing Xbox. I think I saw the latency of Xbox was like 140 milliseconds, and this is 170 supposedly. That gap is not that far, and they can close it and close it. I'm very excited for this, I'm very scared, and a tiny bit skeptical, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. You guys, like I said, I'm not the most informed when it comes to tech, but I am an enthusiast about it, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions. I think we have another tech video somewhere. Reviews, short films, and vlogs. I'm Jaby'S. Peace out.